All right. Third time's a charm, baby. We're here. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we're here with Big O.
God bless you.
And Coach Evan Hearn. Our special guest from Newcastle, Coach Isiah Archer, head football coach and athletic director, among other many, many titles we've heard.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me out.
That's the fans.
All right.
The fans are cheering for you, too. So, as you know, we've invited you here today. Again, thank you so much for coming, saving us mileage. Hopefully, Newcastle reimburses you for your mileage. No, but obviously, we don't have the means to get out to every sideline. We picked you guys up this year. We're excited to cover you the best that we can. And, yeah, we're glad you're here. We're very interested about six-man football. That you're our first guest about six-man football, so we're hoping to learn a lot about that. I know personally myself, I don't know a lot about it, but we're looking forward to it.
Yes,
everybody knows that football is king in the state of Texas, and it's going to be here before you know it. So Coach Evan Hearn and the guys have come up with some questions and stuff we want to ask you. We want to get to know about you as a coach, you as a person, you as Newcastle, and the Newcastle football program. So go ahead, Coach Evan Hearn.
When Coach Archer wrote us back, I was excited because, unlike all of our guests so far, he's like, as you mentioned, he's our first six-man guest, and so I'm excited about that because he's going to teach us the game, tell us the ins and outs and rules and regulations that differ from 11-man to six-man football, and so I'm really excited. So, Coach, kind of introduce yourself and tell us how you got started, where you're from, and how you ended up in Newcastle.
So I've been playing six-man football from sixth grade until I graduated out in Motley County in Matador, Texas. Went to Grand Falls Royalty out way past Odessa, came up through Loop, went back home to Motley County, got my first head job in Rule, and ended up going to Southland right outside of Lubbock. Hit up Lorenzo for a year, and then ended up here calling the defense for a buddy of mine that was the head football coach, and he ended up leaving, and they asked if I'd take over, and I was like, of course. And, we've been rocking and rolling, going on third year, and we're just excited to be there. It's a great community, great school. We have good kids that work hard. Good. It's just good.
And so as we get into it, you guys had a great year. You fell to the eventual state champions. So tell us about, in Benjamin, you guys' record last year and how you guys finished in the playoffs.
Yeah, so we're 10-2. Ended up falling to state champions. And in that game, it was 112 to 84. I think like I said, we were talking before.
That's bad numbers.
Yeah, so we probably beat those guys on touchdowns, but we rested our kicker and got beat on some field goals, which field goals in six-man are 2 points instead of one because you have a guy holding.
Didn't know that.
You got a guy kicking, and you got six guys rushing. So
my God.
You don't
so
have
again,
enough blockers.
He said they scored more touchdowns than Benjamin, but lost on field goals.
Right.
So.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm just gonna sit back and learn more because I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of ignorant to the six-man football, but I'm excited about learning.
So once again, going on to another rule, and you can explain this to our guest and our host. Talk about your 45-point mercy rule.
Yeah, so if a team is up by 45 or more at half, the game is over. And the reason why they do that is because if you're getting beat by 45 points at half, you're not coming back. And you're just going to save a lot of mileage and a lot of heartbreak.
Dang, what they do, write a book from Boys and Girls Clubs? That's it. 30 point, 40, it's 45.
45.
So 45-point lead.
Right. So if you're up by 45, and most of the time those games are going to be you're up 38-0 at the end of the first quarter. So it's not going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
We had a few games this past year where it was 60 to nothing at halftime. So
They don't. So halftime is the call. They
over.
don't do it like 45-0 with 10 minutes left in the
Right,
second
no,
quarter. Okay.
no,
I
no.
think it's
Just
so the
at
kids are
halftime.
not demoralized.
Yeah, you just try to save a little
No,
heartbreak.
I'll be demoralized.
Yeah, for
45 to nothing. So that happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens. It happened to us last year, or not last year, but the year before last, when we played Benjamin the second round the year before.
Okay.
And I think they had us
I mean, I'm not saying demoralized.
48-0, but there's only been one team in state history, I think. Calvert played Sanderson. They were down by 42 points at halftime, came back and won.
Woo!
That was in 2002.
One out of however many. That's
yeah,
like going
so-
down 3-0 in the NBA Finals,
So
baby.
before
That
Coach O's asked his question, I'm gonna talk about that again. So I won't say you may or may not know, but if you go into those games, like how do you motivate your players?
Yeah,
to,
actually,
to know that
playing a team that you know that you're better than is kind of tough that week, because it's hard to get those guys motivated and focused, because that can happen to you. They can come back. They can give you a game where you don't need that to be a game. If you got that game on schedule and you think, oh, this is kind of an easy week for us, it's a reason why most coaches have that on there. It's because they probably got some tough ones coming.
Yeah.
And they need a break where you don't have a bye week. And I think coaches probably do that in 11-man too, where they make their schedule where, hey, this team probably is not going to hit us in the mouth all the time. So we need to make sure we have that where we need to during the year. But you definitely don't want that in district, and that's what happens whenever you get into these 5 or 4 team districts. You know, some of these schools are just smaller and just not as good. If you are an elite team trying to get ready for the playoffs, you better play some tough teams before, because you're not going to get that
might end up
right
hurting
before
you.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Orthopedics Express, our primary focus is delivering exceptional care to patients with orthopedic injuries, such as sprains, strains, broken bones, and joint pain. You'll receive the expert care you need when you need it most. Simply walk in or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Located inside the Center for Advanced Orthopedics, Orthopedics Express is your fast track to orthopedic care.
And I guess on the flip side of that, you can use as motivation, saying, okay, this is a team that is lesser than us, or, we should take care of business. Let's finish this game
Yeah, definitely.
by halftime.
Yeah, and if you do have a young team, which I've been there before, you have a young team where you're going, it's probably not going to be good. How long can we press that?
Yeah.
You're going against a state caliber team, and you're basically a JV team. How far can we press that? If that's our last game of the year, how much can we build off of that situation?
For sure.
So last year, again, you guys had a great season. You did well. Lost to the state championship. Lost to the state champs in Benjamin. How many kids do you guys have that you've lost on that roster that are going to be key pieces of you trying to find those kids this year to replace those key pieces?
We lost a big senior group for us, which was about 6 or 7 kids, which is big in 6-man when you have a class that big. Because that's, most kids play both ways. So that's 6 people that are playing offense, defense. We're lucky enough that this year we got 3 returning on defense, 4 returning on offense. And a lot of those are juniors and sophomores. We have a smaller class this year of 4 seniors that we have an all-state lineman coming back, all-state corner that was a freshman last year coming back, an all-region middle linebacker that'll be a senior. So we have a few that'll help with that, but we lost 2. We had 2 very good seniors that could have went and played at the college level. Probably could have played at wherever school that they went to, but replacing them will take a collective, from the group to replace those parts that we're going to be missing there.
Okay, you just said something that it's a question that I want to. You hit something that I don't think a lot of people. When I was in school, they had all region and all that and all classifications. But I think I could be wrong. Is that only all region is only a 6-man award that's given out now? Because I look at the different awards that go out. on the different websites, and they never upload all region for anything above 1A. I mean, Sixman Football. So is that just a Sixman award now, or is it just they don't really talk about it as much at the other classifications?
I think it's still an award for everybody. I'm not sure, but I've never seen them not post that on other school. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think
I know you got those super teams now that people get put on. I don't know if that's and taking spot of that.
They have more all-state awards is what I think, where it used to just be one all-state. They have different ways of becoming all-state. Like you were saying, you have I think the Texas coaches do the all-state award. Then you have the it starts with a P. I went blank. The what's the one? Jalen them won that one. It's
not the Padilla one?
Yeah, the Padilla one. If you look on the Padilla website, it when it does the all region, it just does Sixman. And so that's a question I had. So I don't know if they stopped doing all region. I know they do all district, and then after district, I've seen them do state for everybody else. Right. And you said all region, and I was like, I've never heard a coach outside of Sixman talk about all region.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never like I said, never not seen it. But we, like our all state, it's just 15 spots, period. And that's, there's only 12 spots that you can take the offense defensively. And they only put 15 on there. So
for you to make that's a big deal.
And maybe that's why they do the all region still. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you talked about how many offensive and defensive starters you'll have returning. So what do you think will be this team's strength this year? I know you said you lost a big senior class. So what do you think this year's team strength will be?
I think just having that year 3, that year 3 under our belt in the program, knowing what we expect, knowing what your job is, knowing the game plan, how we're going to go about it. That first year was a little struggle. Second year, which was last year, was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping that knowledge has transferred over. And we're not having to reteach a lot of things. We can just, kind of tweak it and make the best of it. And I think that and the kids are bought in now. We're not trying to sell something to them. They know what we do. They know what we're about. They know we love them. And that's a major thing of our program. We tell them every day, we love you. We love you. We don't know what's going on at home. Mm-hmm. So you may not get that, but you're going to get that here. And when you come back tomorrow, you're going to get it again.
So you touched on this before we came on there about, philosophies and how this game is played on grass. And I told you that knowledge for me grew because I thought it was just your run and shoot offense. And so talk about your offense and defense philosophies.
Yeah, so a lot of terminology is a little different from 11-man, but it goes back kind of like to the wing tee. Mm-hmm. We have our offense, the way we run it, is we want to hit people in the mouth and see how many times you're going to get up and want to come get some more. We like to be physical. Our main thing is being disciplined, being physical. We don't care if we win, but we're going to win those two. So we got two in the backfield, a quarterback, a center, and then we have what we call a tight end, is a guard position to the right of the center. And to the left of the center, we call it a split end, which would be a tight end situation. Now, all 3 of those guys are eligible. But for anybody to run the ball, an exchange has to happen. So if you take the snap as quarterback, you can't just roll. You got to either hand it to somebody or pitch it to somebody, and you get it back. What we normally
in order to advance past the line of
scrimmage, correct.
Okay, wow.
So what we do is, we put our dudes back there that can run and throw. We'll pitch it to them and run a route and block it and seal on the backside and create a little avenue. We may send our quarterback after he pitches it to go up on the next level to go block that, that next level linebacker. And basically it's a draw play, if you want to call it a draw, where we can throw it. So that's one of our formations. The other one, we go an unbalanced line, kind of like your strong formation. Mm-hmm. And
so your center guard, our center tight end split in.
Right. And then we'll move our fullback up by the quarterback. This is called a Jaybird offense. I guess Jayton was good at it in the 80s, and they named it Jaybird. But we have one tailback now, and we'll run just leads, sweeps out of it. And, again, you put your dude back there that can run and throw, pitch it to him, send people out on routes if you want to.
Does it have to be a pitch or a handoff? Can it be a handoff?
Too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I missed
some
that.
teams will Sanderson back in 2002, they ran triple option out of this look. They'd hand it to the fullback. The fullback would come down the line. The tailback would come in front of him, and the quarterback would loop back around so he could pitch it off the edge. So
Wow.
It's a lot of moving pieces.
a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like
Fast paced for sure.
Yeah.
So one question I had, Coach, is how important is your off season? Would you say, as far as strength and conditioning, play a huge role in six-man football?
I think it plays a huge role. We lift year round, so our off season doesn't really stop. We've been doing since track. We've been coming up at 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, lift, go do our stuff in the afternoon, and then usually our kids will actually come back on their own and lift after. But it is we spend a lot of time developing that strength, that conditioning, and just being able to carry yourself, because we're not going to have 30 people, 40 people. You got to maintain your body. That way you can play. If you want to play, you better not get injured. You don't want to get injured, you better work out. So that's, to answer your question, our strength and conditioning never stops. So
it's good. It's good. Go ahead, and if you want to talk about his.
No,
I just figured you're going to go with the.
Oh yeah, I'll say that. So talk to us about your non-district schedule.
Non-district. Let me see here. I had to pull this up earlier. So we have Iredale. We're going to play them at Gordon that first week. Iredale is a Division II six-man team out by Stephenville a little bit, and they're in the top 5, I believe. Then we go and play Kroll, play Goldberg, Wichita Falls Christian, and then right before district we end up with Jayton. So, and they're like I think they're number 1 in Division II. So
talk about going heavy for preparation for that district.
Yeah. So our big games are going to be Iredale, May, and all of them are big, but the preseason ranked games, we have 3 of them in the top 5. So.
I think Crow's ranked up there too this year, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think Crow, Jayden, and Iredale should be that's three tough opponents for non-district.
And then we have May.
I forgot you said May.
Yeah.
So you got a juggernaut. You got a
ain't
gauntlet.
shying away from
Yeah, for real.
So I think if you want to be, sharp, iron sharpens iron. They always say it. If we want to be good, you're gonna have to play the good ones. So
for sure. I mean, that's a good strategy to do that. Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and kind of flip to a little bit lighter questions. Not so much on football philosophy, but I've been asking the coaches this. And what is something that you as a head coach or you with Newcastle football that you guys do that's kind of like a tradition or something cool that you guys do either for, the community, younger kids or for the actual athletes themselves?
So during the season, what we do is our parents all get together and we do tackling with moms.
Okay, we've seen that kind of thing.
Yeah, that first week. And then on that same night, we give them about a 30-minute break, and then we do decal with dads. So their mother figure, father figure get to come up there, be a part of
Very cool.
their season. But our parents are awesome all throughout the year, man. We have grub tubs, which they just lay out tubs, and parents come up there, fill them full of snacks for game day so they can have something to have on the bus. We've had parents cook for our kids. Just team meals, I don't know if we have too much traditional things that we do, but we just try to involve our community as much as we can because it's a part of them too. It's everybody. It's all of us, and we just try to make it as big as we can.
For sure. The realtor we trust is Kim Roart, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website, homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing-related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AG a call at 940-782-1194. Another question, I guess, is when you look at your schedule, what game do you have circled? Whether that's for previous seasons, or whether that's just your own kind of thoughts process or your ideas, or this one might be better, or homecoming, or what? I mean, is there a game that you have circled on your schedule this year?
This year, I don't know about this year so much. Last 2 years, I definitely had one. That was the one that always got us. So, but this year, a new alignment kind of resets everything for your rival or whoever you're going to go after. But if I had to circle some games, it'd be those, May, Iredell, Jayton, those powerhouse teams that are good every year. You want to see what you're good. The good ones good coaches you want to go against, good players you want to go against. So,
and with the mindset of those kind of games where is there a possibility of that 45-point rule?
Oh,
Definitely. So, yeah. How do you? I know we touched on how you prepare yourselves and your kids for being on the positive side of something like that and not letting them slack off. But how do you prepare yourself, or is there a different mindset in those in the weeks and the time frame leading up to those games where, hey, we could be on the opposite or the bad end of this 45-0?
Yeah, and we just preach to our kids all the time. We're going to get in that phone booth and fight you, and then we'll find out who walks out. It is what it is. We had 2 games last year. We played Jonesboro, which was a highly ranked Division I team. We were Division II, and it ended up being a 12-point game. We didn't know if we could stay on the field with them. Mm-hmm. We played a team called Victory Christian that they won their state in whatever private school thing that they're part of. These dudes were some dudes, too. Man, they were big. And, yanking our helmets off, hitting us. They had fans running on the field trying to get at the refs.
Christians.
Yeah.
I won't touch on you. You want to say anything for that? God bless you.
So, but those were 2 schools that we were like, we may not even walk out of this game. Mm-hmm. But we're going to find out who we are. And I think you have to set up those situations for your team and yourself if you want to make the runs and be good.
Definitely.
So you talked about your non-district schedule. Talk about your district schedule. As you alluded to, district changes, and as we know, the UIL changes or realigns district every 2 years. So there are some changes. Talk about those changes. Talk about maybe your new district opponents.
Yeah, so we went up a division, so we're up in Division 1 now of 6-man, and we have Knox City, which is a favorite. I think somebody showed me. I don't have social media, so somebody showed me that they were number 8, and I think we were 9.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be tough. And we have Vernon Northside, which is we've played them in the past, but that'll be a new district opponent for us. Perrin Witt is new for us, and Bryson, which is they're right next door to us, so we kind of have a little rivalry there. But hadn't played them in a couple of years. But going up a division, you know, if you don't know 6-man, you think Division 1, Division 2. Well, that happens in 11-man too, where you go up a division and now you're the lower ones. So we were just over that mark on enrollment, so we're on the lower end of Division 1 with our enrollment. So it kind of changes a little bit because you get a different athlete in Division 1 than you do in Division 2, and you just Knox City spits out teams every year that are super athletic, and you don't know what they're going to have, and it'll be interesting. It'll be a good district for us, I think, very competitive. Hopefully we can get through there.
You mentioned Bryson, I think, being your rival.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. Has that always been Newcastle's rival? Is that something new? I mean, is that who Newcastle as the city, as the community, is that who they consider to be the rival, or is that you?
I think they have a couple. I think Bryson being right there, we see them a lot more in some stuff, but Throckmorton's probably there's usually a split right there. The state usually splits us, the UIL does, and they go east, we go west, or however they go into 2 different districts. But in the past, I would say Throckmorton and Bryson are probably the 2 biggest rivals, just because we're next door to each other. Woodson too.
So in 6-man football, I noticed you talked about a little bit before we got on there. You talked about defensive philosophy, and we kind of talked about how it's similar to some of the philosophy that you use in basketball. Can you go a little bit more in depth with that?
Yeah. So in 6-man, you have 2 teams. You got a team that has an athlete back there that you want to get it to and put them in space and let them beat everybody, or you have a team that's going to hit you in the mouth over and over again. And that kind of, whichever team you're playing kind of changes what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But if you have that athlete back there that you have to go get and you got to beat that dude, you're going to want to send – you can't just send one in there because he's going to beat that one. So you got to send 2 in there, corral them, kind of like you do in a press. What we do is we run a 2-3, kind of like I was talking off air, a 3-4. We got 2 defensive ends going, a middle backer sitting in the middle. That way we can pick up any dumps. Corners on the edge, they can come up and help support on the run or get back on pass, and then a safety that'll roam. And you have to be a good tackler. Got to be an open field tackler. Got to be willing to box people in.
That's got to be probably the most important.
Yeah,
open field tackler. I mean, we know who won the state championship, right, and we talked briefly off air, but how hard is it to tackle? Or as a coach, how do you change your mindset, like you said, from the punch in the mouth teams versus the Grayson Rigdon led teams you just gotta rep it, man. You gotta rep it. But when you got a Grayson Rigdon back there, you can't really rep that in practice with the JV kid. And so
you probably had to get out there, coach.
No, I popped my hamstring 2 many years ago. No, you just try to rep it as much as you can and as best as you can. We do a lot of our stuff as competitive in-game situation during practice, and so you just gotta trap them, basically. You know, if you are a basketball guy and you understand how a 2-2-1 works or 1-2-2, you got those corners that you want to trap them in. That's kind of the same thing that you want to do on the football field in 6-man, except don't let them outside because that'll be a death
way bigger spot.
Yeah.
40 by 80.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question is a little bit, it's football related, but just more so related to what you do for Newcastle, because I know in 1A sports you probably have to wear many hats. So what are some of the hats that you wear in 1A at Newcastle?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm the athletic director, and then I'm also the head football coach, the assistant basketball coach for boys, junior high, JV, and high school, and varsity, and the head track coach, head golf coach, teach 6th grade science and history, also some high school classes, so 5 classes, teach those. We clean our own gymnasium, clean our weight room. You know, whatever. We wash all of our clothes ourselves.
You serve the food at the cafeteria?
Yeah, we sometimes we got to go watch kids in the cafeteria.
Oh my God, how do you do that all?
You just, I don't know. We just get it done. It needs to be done, and we find ways to get it done.
That's crazy.
You know, luckily we have a good coaching staff, and everybody's willing to help. But it does. There's 3 boys coaches, 3 girls coaches. That's it. And so we
And one of them happens to be your wife.
Yeah.
And so you say you grew up 6-man. I just thought about this. You grew up 6-man. Was she also grow up in that realm, or did
she
you? She
went to school at Permian.
Oh,
so,
what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how did you
Big
convince her?
She was. I don't know. I got lucky.
That's funny.
Outkicked my coverage on that one for sure. I don't know. She was in Permian, and you know, she was a stud volleyball track. She started at Permian for volleyball, track, and basketball. So to be able to do that in a 5A and then come to 1A school, she's looking at these hurdle times thinking, my gosh, I should have been in 1A. So.
Refresh your ride during the Thrill of Summer sales event at Nissan of Wichita Falls. Come see our great lineup of new Nissans, including the all-new Nissan Rogue and the new 2024 Nissan Frontier. Nissan of Wichita Falls has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles and a service staff of certified Nissan technicians, backed by the best parts department in Texoma. We're locally owned and operated with a sales team you can trust at Nissan of Wichita Falls.
So how do you the move to 6, like, obviously you grew up in, and that's what you love to do. What is it about 6-man football that just is cultivating to you, and explain that to our audience?
Yeah. So I played college at WT a little bit, and I played outside linebacker there. Played some semi-pro old man stuff, and it was so slow. I would play fullback and get to the hole and be on the linebacker before tailback was even through the hole because I was just used to hitting it quick. It's fun. It's exciting. You don't get a break. You know, if I coached in the FCA All-Star game a few years ago, and I helped Coach Cox down there and those guys on the defensive side, and we were on the sideline for so long it felt, just talking to those guys, I was like, man, this is weird.
I'm running out of stuff to say.
And I just feel like you don't get a break. You get to see, all the highlights that you see on ESPN. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. You're just seeing highlight after highlight after highlight. But you also, what people don't understand is you're seeing some big hits too, because you're coming from way across the field and there's no one in your way. There's not 10 other guys in your way.
Nobody's slowing you down.
Nobody's slowing you down.
You got the right angle.
Or you're running at the dude. One of the two. But big hits, it's big highlights, and it's just fast. And I think schematically, it's tough. I don't know why I love defensive side, and I'm over there trying to stop kids that go play Division I football. And I don't know. It's fun. It's exciting, and I think people can just relate, to the little guy on the field that can play.
Yep. So my last question for you, really have been appreciative of you being here today. So my last question is just a question that I ask pretty much everybody that comes on the show. I'm gonna ask it in 2 parts. The first part is what's your favorite pregame meal for yourself?
When I get to eat, let's see. Pregame meal. I like some spaghetti before a game. Chicken spaghetti probably. We do that a lot with our players on Thursdays. So we're 4-day week, and we actually bring them up at 11 in the morning on game days, feed them, walk through, do all that. And so I'd say probably that is one of my favorites.
Okay, so that you kind of answered both questions with that with the kids. I saw spaghetti, so that's pretty cool to find out. You guys only go school Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, so Monday through Thursday, every home game we go during the season, and we have a full day that day for home games. That makes it where after Thanksgiving we don't have to come back on Fridays. So every away game, we get to come up early. So we're not missing, us getting up out of bed, feed them. You get an extra. I feel like we get an extra practice out of it. We go out and walk through, prep for the game, feed them, tell them to come back, and then we're off to the game.
So you kind of are answering my question that I've been asking is, what's game day like from start to finish for you and your athletes?
Yeah. So if it's on a Friday, we'll be up there early with our athletes, and we start a line. We greet all the kids coming into the school with our jerseys on, and then we'll go into the cafeteria and have some breakfast with the little ones, and just school on Fridays that we have game days at home, and then in a pep rally, come back, get ready for the game. On away games when we don't have school, we'll get up there about 10, pack our bags, get everything laid out. Start the food, go out and go through our walkthrough, get some chalk talk going, make sure everybody's on the same page of when to come back and what our goal is for the night, and take off for the game.
What do you mean by get some chalk talk going?
So we get up there on the board with them, make sure they understand what's going on. We talk to it on outside, then we bring it back in, clarify, make sure everybody knows where to go. I guess it's marker talk now, not really chalk.
No, you're good. I thought you said like chalk talk, like an Indian tribe.
Oh no.
So that's
we
why
do
I
make
asked.
some weird noises out there.
Okay.
Our boys like to yell a little bit. I don't
They have Cherokee and Choctaw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is you moved out here, as you said, to Newcastle. Talk to us about the community of Newcastle and what brought you out there.
Yeah, like I said, the coach that was there before, he needed a defensive coordinator and called us up. And my wife, we were at schools that didn't have volleyball, and she's always wanted to coach volleyball. So had an opportunity to come out here and get into that. And, man, the community's been great. We have 3 kids. One just turned 10. One's about to turn 1 next week. And then our little girl is 8. And we just leave our kids in the stands. We had our son on July 20th, and we started 2-a-days last year, I think on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And she was coaching, I was coaching, and he was just in the stands getting passed around.
Yeah.
So they,
Hope everybody got their whooping cough.
Yeah. So everybody, man, they love us. I think they love us. But,
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. You seem like a pretty good guy.
yeah, we love being there. It feels like home. I've always talked to coaches, what do I got to do to be a good coach? And they said, you find you a good place that has good admin, a good community, and it feels like home, and you'll be fine. Wins and losses are always going to come, but if you feel like you're at home, you love where you are, then that's where you need to be.
So you said something very interesting too off the air. As you talked about your admin, your superintendent is your offensive coordinator.
He is. He's our offensive coordinator. He also helps me run the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both weight guys. We're big into it, and we always spit stuff off of each other. But he also helps in track. Wherever he's needed, he'll be happy to help. Man.
So basically, what I'm getting at, you can't get too mad at him on Friday nights for a call because he's still the boss.
Nah, I tell him, we need to score. We need to score. I had the meeting with the superintendent Monday. Tonight we need to score.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Hey, man, I feel like we could talk all night long.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got things to do. I know I delayed us a little bit with a little bit of technical difficulties, but if you guys have anything else or you want to release him for the night.
We'll let him leave. We'll stay in touch.
Hey, we appreciate you coming out. We're excited. I learned quite a bit here just in the last 30 minutes or so for Sixman Football, and we're excited to start covering and be a part of, or do what we can for Newcastle from a media. I definitely want to get out there. You talk about highlights. I run the camera, so I definitely need those highlights. I live for highlights. So
We'll hook you up.
I definitely want to get out there and get on the sideline with you guys and hopefully come across a good team or maybe a good game. And we got your contact information, so I'll reach out to you and see. Maybe you can send me a message and say, circle this game because it's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
I don't want any 45-0 unless you guys are on the winning side. But yeah, appreciate you coming out. We wish you the best of luck this season. You were pretty successful last season, and we're hoping that you're going to do the same thing this year.
Well, thank you guys, man. I appreciate you all looking out for us. Give us an opportunity. We're talking off air. 1A schools don't get a lot of look. We got girls and boys that can play, and anything to help them get to where they want to get. We're happy to help, and I appreciate you guys for helping us.
Yes,
sir. Appreciate it. All right, well, that'll be it then. See you later.
See ya.